Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Barb Bacon, and I'm a community advocate here in South Charlotte. If I had my buttons on today, it would be, let's get some gun control. I'm tired of looking at the news and seeing this. Black Lives Matter in honor of our friend Joel. And let's have equal rights for everybody.
Hello, this is Jenny James Gunn. I am a community advocate here in Charlotte, North Carolina for LGBT women's rights with the National Organization for Women, gun sense laws with Moms and Men Action, and anything that extends equity to all. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Christian Cano. You're the co-host. My buttons are Moms and Men Action, gun sense legislation, healthcare for all, Medicare for all, and also in my heart, Black Lives Matter on behalf of Joe Oldham, who's a guest of ours who passed away last year. That's it.
Good morning, everybody. It is Coffee and Pan Dulce time, and we're in June. Congratulations. Wow. If you've made it this far with us, you are in the month of June if you're seeing this for the first time. In fact, the official date, drum roll please, would be June 5th, and which is crazy. Yeah. Happy Pride Month. Happy International Pride Month. You know, for everybody that partakes or is an ally or part of the community or whatever, even if you hate Pride, you can't help but not love the festivities, love this first full month of summer, love everything that goes with this time of year. It's just warm, it's beautiful, it's amazing. And I look forward to June every year. It's one of my favorite months because of how the world changes. But this is Jenny Gunn and Christian Cano, and we have the Coffee and Pan Dulce, the Pride edition, and we do this every year, some version of it. Sometimes we've had 20 people on. Today it's just going to be the two of us. Take it away, Christian.
All right. As Jenny said, welcome everyone. This is Coffee and Pan Dulce. And I do want to say this is kind of a special show for several reasons. For those who've been watching us over the last 7 seasons, you will know that, as Jenny said, we do this every year. We talk about Pride Month and so forth. But we're changing the format a little bit as we go into our middle of our 7th season, especially as we start in the fall. So we're going to kind of try it tonight. But also, this is our 300th episode. Wow. Is that incredible? Yeah, it's our 300th
That's hard
episode.
To believe.
I know. Exactly. It's our 300. I don't think I've done 300 things in my entire life. So I'm just I'm very constantly. So I'm very anyway. So this is going to be a good show. Today's episode is, as Jenny said, is about Pride. It's Pride 2024, and we want to thank everyone who's joining us. I want to thank Jenny Gunn, who's one of our co-hosts, along with Barb Bacon, who is still on hiatus. We do our thoughts are with her because she's recovering from a situation. And thank you those who join us on Facebook Live, also those who join us on YouTube, and the thousands who listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. All right, this is Coffee and Pan Dulce. All right, so we're going to try a new format here. We're going to drop directly into Barb's current events.
And this is Barb's current events.
All right, here we go, Jen. You ready?
Yes.
Barb's current events. So, Bobo, your favorite congresswoman in Colorado, she is outraged that the city of Denver, Colorado, has issued a welcoming. They call it welcoming visitors or something. And I'm probably mutilating it. It's kind of like for immigrants, welcoming immigrants to their city, and it's kind of like a checklist on how to welcome them and so forth. So she's outraged about it, and she said, "Oh, we need to vote these people out, because they're allowing illegal aliens, to invade our anyway." So the mayor of Denver clapped back and said, "Hold on a second, weren't you the one who got kicked out of the theater for groping? And maybe we need to add that also to the handbook, so to speak." So anyway, I thought that was very interesting. The second one, as we speak now, we do tape this or record this a week in advance. Donald Trump's hush money case in New York is in the hands of a jury. That's the second one. And the third one is in the state of Texas. As you see this, it is a week late. We do record this week before. In the state of Texas, a moderate Republican, Tony Gonzalez, who represents the Uvalde district, congressional district, won. He barely sneaked out, but he did beat the MAGA gun rights Matt Gaetz candidate who was running for Congress as well. And that person is actually from Fayetteville, North Carolina, but then moved to that area because he wanted to run for Congress. So the good news is that the moderate Republican held off the MAGA Republican in that state, in the state of Texas, which was a pretty big accomplishment. So, Jenny, have at it.
Well, I think the hard line, I'm going to go right into the MAGA one first,
Sure.
there in the state of Texas. I think Texas is shifting way left. I just from everything I'm seeing in the polling, we're seeing massive shifts in statewide stuff and local stuff. And even in the Republican Party, you're looking at somebody that's left of the hard line right. And in Tony Gonzalez. And so I think the Republicans that vote in that primary in that area, if they're going to have to be stuck with a Republican, they're gonna probably pick somebody like a Tony Gonzalez that
Sure.
can operate with both parties, that can peaceably work with Democrats across the aisle and also work with the Republicans to a certain extent. And they're needing to in many political bodies. I think there's going to be a lot of tightening of races and a tightening of margins to where, if it tightens up in the Republican Congress, for example, and you're maybe have a margin of error of 2 to 4 votes, working with Democrats is very important, just as it is in the National Congress. We're seeing this in the House right now, where 1 or 2 or 3 votes from either party can really make the difference between something passing and not passing.
Exactly.
And so some of this is political reality that's setting in. Some of it is the people are speaking and saying, that's a minority of a minority party. The Republican Party is the smaller of the 2 big parties. And then the MAGAs maybe aren't the dominant voice that they once were in that party. And maybe they never were. We just allowed them to do that. And then a lot of people stepped up and said, you know what? I'm going to vote Republican. I'm going to be accounted for this year. And I'm going to vote for Tony Gonzalez. And I'd be curious to see what the total vote numbers were. I bet they're higher than they were last time. As far as Bobo, good gosh. Somebody, and I'm going to say this later on in the second show, is somebody, first of all, her village is missing their idiot if she's out and about talking. Second of all, nobody should put a microphone in front of her. Just people need to stop. There is a reason why they have muzzles and gags out there. She needs to be a recipient of either one of those. As far as her being handsy, she knows about hands-on experience, literally. And don't take your kids near her or her ex-husband. As far as the Trump trial is concerned, Eric Trump made a fool of himself today in New York City in front of a microphone speaking to the village idiots. This Trump trial is going to end badly.
Yeah.
no matter what the verdict is,
Yeah.
the fact that there's over 30 charges pending on this,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yeah.
doesn't take
34
many
charges.
for, I mean, just a
Yeah. It just needs
10%.
one to stick, right? Just one to
Yeah.
stick. Yeah.
And he's going to the
Exactly.
slammer.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's one of those things where it's a very historic thing. It's the first time a
Yeah.
president's ever been tried in a criminal trial. There's a lot of firsts, and most of all, it's the find out part of his life. And he
Sure.
absolutely brought this on himself. You know, if you don't pay hush money, you don't have to worry about hush
Yeah.
money trials. That's
You
the
know,
number one thing.
yeah, you know what, Jenny, and I completely agree with you because this is not going to, it's not ending well. I know they're saying that his loyal supporters are backing him no matter what, and if you're a hardcore Democrat, they don't like him anyway. It's the middle people that may be influenced. But here's the deal: I think they underestimate the conservative Republican woman. Period. Especially with the abortion issue, I think they have completely underestimated them. But also understand that this whole trial has highlighted that he slept with two women that we know of while his wife was pregnant. And he said it didn't happen, but his whole defense is, well, but if I did, it's not illegal. And if I did pay her, it's not illegal. You know what I mean? So he has gotten to, I never knew this woman, to it didn't happen, to okay, if it did happen, then and so it's one of these what had happened was kind of thing. So I really do believe there's a lot of women watching this and going, I feel for Melania, and this jerk is just he's not she hasn't shown up to court once to support him, neither has his daughter. I think that's really telling. And the one thing also, Jenny, about the Texas one, because I know we're on new format, we got to cut it really short, or else I will talk forever. The first one, the reason I think this is very telling is because that is what we would call a typical, not typical. It was a Tejano district. It goes from parts of South San Antonio to El Paso, to parts of El Paso. It doesn't cover the big city of San Antonio or the big city of El Paso, but it covers like the fringes in between both of them. It's a long district, covers a lot of counties. It's a very Hispanic Tejano kind of rural kind of neighborhood. He is considered to be the first moderate congressperson who has in Texas, one of the few people that have fended off a MAGA extremist. And I think that's telling because, like you said, I don't know if that is a tea leaf, like a ice, I don't know what the term is, a calm before the storm, so to speak. That I think when you see that community say, all right, we're willing to stand up and we're going to vote. We're a little bit more conservative. Tony Gonzalez does support common sense gun rights. There's some things that he supported because he represents Uvalde. He did vote for equality marriage or to protect marriage equality, so to speak, and that's why the state of Texas, the conservatives censored him, and they were trying to oust him. Well, he stood up to that, and I do think hopefully that is courage to other people in the state of Texas, especially in South Texas, and with a lot of Tejano black and brown voters that say you can stand up to them. And as you mentioned, so I don't know if you want to comment on that before we take our first break, but that was a very unique district. He's one of the few people that have actually, stood up to them.
And I also think too, it goes to show you that you can be principled and still be a Republican.
Yeah.
Is that they here for a while? It was almost like a choice. If you were a MAGA, you couldn't have principles.
Yeah,
and they're showing that the most important takeaway to me is that you can run as a Republican and not be a MAGA. You can actually stand up. You can actually have conversations with the other side. And it was a big part of what Jeff Jackson talked about on his reel today on Instagram was that there are Republicans that are reaching across the aisle to form new majorities. And it's happening more and more. And I think we're going to see a soft middle, if you so to speak, that is going to be a conglomeration of independents certain Republicans, and the
Sure.
majority of Democrats, where the Democrats are the minority party, like in the National House, for example.
Yep.
And I think you're going to see these interesting coalitions
Sure.
form more and more because of political expediency and because of necessity, just to get business done. Like passing the budget, that type of cooperation is what got the budget passed through the House, and also several defense bills. And I think that's what you're going to see more and more of, is that people are going to get together and go, we won't invite everybody. We'll just not tell MTG and a few other people.
And exactly.
Yeah,
we won't invite the Karens.
We'll be like the Little Rascals. We'll be the She-Woman, He-Man Woman Haters Club or whatever. And we just won't invite specific MAGA, mouth breathers. And I think that strategy is going to do a couple things. One, it's going to isolate the minority amount of really loudmouth idiots in the Republican Party.
Yep.
I think the second thing is it's going to send a message to their leader, their de facto leader in Trump, and saying, we all don't listen to you, bro. Maybe your time is up.
Yeah, we got to take our first break, but let me tell you that one of the most exciting things that I'm a Democrat, and I vote, especially now. One of the great things I heard about Tony Gonzalez is what he said was, when he wins, he was very confident. When he wins, he is going to join others to go after those like Matt Gaetz, like he's going to support candidates. He's going to do what they've done to him. And it was like, and I thought about you, Jenny, because you're the one who says the people who are going to destroy the MAGAs and Republicans are from within, because they, and I think you're seeing that in the state of Texas, and we could do a whole show about that. But anyway, all right, we're going to take our first break. We'll be right back on Coffee and Pan Dulce right after this. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching our Coffee and Pan Dulce show every week. Don't forget, you can watch us visually on our video podcast platforms on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all of the other ones that your favorite, whatever your favorite is. Once again, thank you for watching us on Coffee and Pan Dulce. We'll dance out.
Hey y'all, it's International Pride Month, and I want to wish everybody, our fellow queer neighbors and our allies, a happy Pride Month. Spend money in Target and your local queer Black and brown businesses as well. But happy Pride. Thanks for watching this show, and be safe out there.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, dude. Hey y'all, thanks for watching, and support our local Black and brown businesses, including our sponsor, Manolo Bakery, that has some fabulous pastries, food, king steaks, all kinds of specialty cakes, swallowing, and much, much more. Some of the best food we eat in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, Manolo's Bakery, right here in East Charlotte. Thanks for watching. So we have a great fall lineup, and we encourage you to tune in to many of our fabulous shows, like our Say show, and many more things in October and November as well. Thanks for watching, as always, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching the Florida shows. They've been wildly successful. Obviously, it's a topic that you guys have enjoyed and wanted to know more of. And we like talking about the dumpster fire that used to be the state of Florida. And we'll probably talk about it some more this summer. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching. Well, welcome back, everyone. So thank you, Jenny. A great insight on that. So, today's episode, today's episode is titled Pride 2024. With our new format, we're basically talking about current events, and then so forth. But we're going to talk very briefly about our topic. Happy Pride, Jen. Happy month of Pride. Do you think this is a different Pride than it was last year? Seemed kind of challenging, with all the boycotts and what are your thoughts on that?
I think there's always going to be a certain amount of hate, and there's always going to be a certain amount of love. And I don't know if you can quantify it. I don't know if you can measure it out. It's just one of those things. I think it depends on the state of mind of the day. If you ask
Sure.
me tomorrow how I feel about something, it may sound a little different than today,
Yeah.
and you check the wind, and
Yeah.
put your finger up in the air
That's
and
right.
see
Yeah.
which way the wind is blowing.
Hmm.
But, I just as last year, and I say this a lot, is I always believe I'm
Hmm.
betting on hope. I love the younger generations, especially the younger adult generations in our community, the baby Z's and the millennials, and how they've led in all facets of our communities, including the queer community, the LGBT community.
Sure.
And I still am not going to change how I feel about that. I'm super excited that the world is getting better for our youngest of our
Yeah.
under 18 LGBT members, and that there's many things that are going forward. And we've had some setbacks, we've had some losses,
Yeah.
we've had, you're in every fight, you're always going to have some losses. It's almost, you're
Yeah.
never always going to, the old saying, you can't win them all. You
Yeah.
literally,
Exactly.
you have to be as gracious in your losses as you are in your wins,
Sure.
because either way, it's a measuring stick for
Yeah.
your own character. You need that call's coming from inside the
Hmm.
house, as I like to say it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And I personally love Pride Month, International Pride Month. It's this is the 55th year since the Stonewall event in New York City
Hmm.
in June 28th of 1969, and just what a powerful movement and a powerful community. It's our community, and I love our
Hmm.
family, and all the shapes and flavors is what
Sure.
our diversity is what
Hmm.
makes us strong.
You're exactly right, Jenny. And I remember this time last year because I can go back and watch the shows last summer and all last year. The show we did with CC, the former here from North Carolina, and then also Sushi and Key West. And I remember all of the anxiety and angst we all felt because it was just they were some just not just was piling it on. It was just it's just all the boycotts against Bud Light. Remember the Bud Light thing was going on and all that stuff. And even though deep inside I knew, this is not our first rodeo. You and I know from our lives, um, things happen and you just kind of pivot and you toughen yourself and then you come out and you used what they are coming out against you and you just kind of go around them because those crazy people are always going to be there. You just kind of go around them and find allies and so forth. And I will say that, whether we agree or not, Target has pivoted. They're still offering Pride, just not everywhere. They're probably not doing it in Monroe or Waco, Texas, but they're doing it in some bigger markets, and you can still buy it online. You can still buy all the items you want to online. We're still going to have a plethora of corporate sponsorships for prides all around the country. That's not going to go away. I'm sure this Pride event here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where you and I is going to be one of the. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. So we just the communities just pivot and they learn how to work within the system and so forth. And so I guess what my point is, all of those people who were saying, the Moms for Liberty people, remember all that stuff we were going through all last year? They're still there, but it's like people have said, all right, I'm tired of that craziness. I'm going to move on to the next
Yeah,
thing. And I really took heart to what you said about the young people, because my concern last year was the younger people who may not have the skill set to weather the storm, you know? And that was always my concern about all of that hate and anger was not everyone has the skill sets that you and I have, and that, if something could impact them, and, they may have a harder time dealing with it. And, suicide rates are very high within the LGBTQ community.
yep.
And so, I do hope that we played a small part in talking about pride, and I know you're very involved in
Yep.
keeping people up and things like that. So
Had
that's to me.
conversations, including today. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to name who the person
Sure.
was, but I had a very, very emotionally draining, um, tough conversation, phone conversation,
Hmm.
actual phone call today. Good old fashioned phone call, actually,
Yeah.
And it happens. It happens to the best of us. We all have bad days. We're all entitled to have bad days. Just as much as we have queer joy and queer jubilation, we also all deserve to feel what we need to feel. And we all deserve to be uplifted by others in our community. We all deserve love. We all deserve compassion. And to all of our neighbors, not just our queer neighbors, but all of our neighbors. And that's how a community builds on a community. And we have to remember that.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, because this time in 2020, when we were having our Pride Talk, and if you remember, we had Luana Mayfield, a local queer politician, one of the first out politicians in the South actually to win a political office, and many other political figures of color that were also queer were on our show at the same time that we were talking about George Floyd, and we were talking about all the riots and how we pivoted and we allowed the George Floyd conversation to be talked about at the first of the show rather than jumping right into the Pride celebration. And we sometimes have to do that. Sometimes life changes priorities, or maybe we need to lift up one community that's been historically pushed down. It doesn't mean that we totally ignore these other communities, but right then and there, we have to stop the bleeding on this one community. And that's why Black Lives matters so much at specific times, because we need to make sure we triage that community when we need to triage it. But we can chew gum and we can walk at the same time, as you always say.
What Christian. A concept.
What the country? As what Yakov used to say. Actually went to some of his shows while I lived in Branson. But what a concept, what a country. And we do have to believe that the concept of love is an international language. It's a universal language. And love also comes from whatever God you believe in or no God. But it comes from all of us.
Yeah. Good point. Excellent. Listen, if you like what you hear from Jenny, she does have a show that comes on 30 minutes after this. Well, actually, now it's probably an hour after this, because this is now just going to be a half-hour show. So imagine what we can accomplish in 30 minutes. Her show is called Two Queers in a Truck, and it drops every Wednesday at 11:30. So this second and last commercial is about her show. We'll be right back on Coffee and Pan Dulce. Hey everyone, we just want to wish you a happy Pride. June is International Pride Month, and we're celebrating it all month long. Also, we do want to thank those who watch us on Facebook and YouTube, and the people who now listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. We want to thank you. Don't forget that our summer schedule is out, so we have our topics that we'll be covering in July and also in August. And just want to say happy Pride. I'll dance out. Happy Pride, everyone.
Hey guys, I've got a special product out, and we've got a store under the name blueapplytech.com. And you can go on our Etsy store, you can go on our social media, and you can check out our merchandise. We have some amazing snowflake Trump mugshot ornaments. We have mugs, we have pillow covers. We have a lot of cute stuff for the holiday season that you can buy, and it's great fun. And it goes to a good cause. It goes to my company, and it's helping us out getting started. And also, who doesn't want a historic snowflake Trump ornament?
Exactly.
This year.
That's funny. What's the name of it again?
And the name of the company is Blue, like the color blue, applied APPLIED Tech, like technology.
Blue Applied Tech. Ah, cool.
And so you can look us up. We have a website, but our store is on Etsy, and a lot of people use Etsy for different types of gifts. They are assembled in the United States, so it creates American jobs, and most of all, it's a lot of fun, and they're not expensive.
Cool.
So,
Blue Applied Tech. Got it.
Correct. Come seek us out and buy some gifts.
Cool.
Up next is Two Queers in a Truck with Jenny and Christian. And hope you guys tune in. We'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you.
Well, welcome back, everyone. So listen, thank you so much, Jen. And we're going to, I don't know, jump. This is our last segment. This is, we're trying this new format, and this will go permanent in the fall, but we wanted to try it, through the summer just to kind of get you used to it. And if you're watching the show, which I thank you for watching, we lost Baby Trump Pinata. MAGA Baby Trump Pinata. He's probably really stressed out about the verdict that's going to be on his dad, so we lost him on camera. And we do have St. Bernie that's sitting over here. If you don't watch the show, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So it doesn't make any difference. If you listen to us, then there are two people on the screen that you never see.
As you were.
And then, yes, just as you were. And so, all right. So this last segment that we have on this show is called the Pendejo Chronicles. And this is the Pendejo Chronicles. All right, Pendejo Chronicle. The Pendejo of the week is Trump. So when you're watching the show, we record a week later. The day that we're recording this is when the jury went to deliberations. As they were going to deliberations after they took a break at lunchtime, Trump went in front of the cameras out in the courtroom or the court and compared himself to Mother Teresa. I guess he thinks he's like this martyr and how he's as clean as Mother Teresa, and it was just like, so I just want to say that he's not Mother Teresa, obviously. Mother Teresa never paid a porn star. I don't,
we know of.
Yeah, exactly, that we know of. So I just thought that was the stupidest thing in the world because it's so beyond stupid. He might as well have come out in a clown suit and like tap danced and went, I mean, I don't know. Do you have anything to comment on? Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. But it's just like the day that they're going to deliberate on whether he's going to jail. This is a felon, okay? A felony. 34 counts. What you have any thoughts on that, Ben, before we end the show?
Well, I mean, it's kind of why there's Republican candidates running against MAGA candidates. I mean,
yeah.
If you look at the person, as Harry Truman said, the buck stops here.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this guy that should be contrite and should be saying, okay, whatever happens, if I do get convicted, I'll take my punishment like a true man and
Sure.
I will own what I need to own. Instead of showing some sort of modicum of decency and humility,
Exactly.
This jackass, this pontificating flatulent jackass gets on there, and Mother Teresa was far from perfect. There was a lot of things that she did that were very much less than saintly. But at the end of the day, was probably a fairly decent human being for the most part.
Sure.
He's not.
Yeah. Well,
like in any measure of the deal, like for every one good thing that this guy may or not have done, which who knows if he's telling the truth when he does do something good. He does at least 10 shitty things. Like he's not. His batting average is very, very low when it comes to good deeds.
Well,
I have a tough time thinking about good deeds and Donald Trump in the same sentence committing the good deeds.
I don't know if you hear. I know we got to close the show now, but I don't know if you heard. But yesterday, during closing arguments, his attorney called Michael Cohen the gloat, GLOAT, the greatest liar of all time, or whatever you call it. And I thought it was so rich that the attorney for Donald Trump, who has told like 34,000 lies when he was a president, is calling someone else the greatest liar. I thought it was just so rich. It's just like, and
not to get lost in the point, with the fact that Michael Cohen actually went to prison and lost his law
Exactly.
license because
Yes.
of Donald J. Trump.
Exactly. You're exactly right. So listen, what do you think? What'd you think of the format?
Fun.
Good. Hey,
Short
it's your
and
idea.
sweet.
So hey, yeah, excellent. Yeah, short and sweet. Exactly. I hope you all enjoy this. We're going to go around the Brady Bunch screen. Between Jenny and I, hopefully, we get Barbara and other guests back in. Now that they know the format, it's going to go by quick, and hopefully our listeners and viewers will reward us by sharing our show with as many friends and families they can. So, Jenny, where are you going to be, or do you have any idea the weekend after this airs?
So there's a lot of things that go on the weekends in the community. I don't have anything specific. I do know I'm working towards the goals of getting my business prepared to be open. We are narrowing down locations actually as we speak, and probably by the time this airs, may have a location in place.
Wow,
we're that close. So we're now talking days and weeks, and then equipment is probably also going to be ordered pretty soon. So there's a lot of things happening all at once. A lot of chaos, actually.
You're busy.
It's a lot of controlled chaos. And it's one of the reasons why we're recording tonight instead of this morning is for this very reason, to accommodate my daytime work schedule, which I appreciate. And so that we can still bring you shows every week and fresh shows. And so I appreciate all y'all hanging in there with us, even with our hiatuses, and look forward to talking to y'all next week.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Jenny. And I will be somewhere. So, but it sounds like I don't know what 70s or 80s or 60s person saying, I will be here with you next week. Somewhere. I don't know. That was real cheesy. All right. We've gone over by 10 seconds. We're going to act like we got music. We're going to dance out. Bye, y'all. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
See you, baby. Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching Coffee and Pan Dulce. And we, happy Pride Month. And be safe out there. Wear your sunblock if you need it. And we'll see you next week. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo.
Next up, thanks for watching Coffee and Pan Dulce. Next up is Two Queers in a Truck. Stay tuned.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Sounds great.
You sounded like a telenova. I mean,
I'm trying this. All I have to say is go. Yes.
As a non-Spanish speaker.
Okay. Now, since we don't have music, we're just going to act like there's music.
Music's playing. Okay. So you'll just overlay it.
That's what I'll say. Music's playing. Good job. All right. We're at 15 minutes. So we got to make this next one like 5 or 7 minutes. Here we go. Right after this. All right. Got about 7 minutes left. Here we go.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.